Well, I am a Doctor Who fan. And let's just take a second to admire my drip here. And so yeah, Halloween did just happen, which is part of the reason why I'm wearing this, but yeah, I just wanted to show it off here. Kind of is a bit of a costume. I don't want to call this a Halloween special because it's not. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys kind of like my little thing here. Got my 11th Doctor screwdriver, my 4th Doctor Tom Baker's hat, and we got my 4th Doctor's scarf. And like, I just wanted to take a second to show you guys how long this thing is. I mean, I think I'm a pretty tall guy, you know, I'm like 6 foot, maybe a bit above that. And, you know, this scarf is my height if you put the whole thing out. So, you know, I really like this. I like to wear it sometimes when I'm in like a Doctor Who mood. And this was my Halloween costume this year. So, you know, there you go. And yeah, I think I'm also missing something. Let me see. Boom, Sonic sunglasses. There we go. That's exactly what I needed. You know, I'll be wearing this for the rest of the video. So, actually, I'll take the hat off. Why not? Because I just gracefully threw it. I don't know. Editing me here. Don't you like how much of an idiot I am that I didn't even check my lighting? Just because I did this stupid blunder. I'm buying a ring light for myself. Upping the quality of this because this is ridiculous. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. This is literally the second video that I've done that my lighting is just trash. So I'm sorry that you literally cannot see my face. Yeah, but you kind of just need to hear me. And I put some pictures in, so it's entertaining enough. I'm sorry. I really am. So yeah, anyway, that was probably the most graceful hat throw I've ever done. Definitely. Anyway, I'm not sure how many of you guys who follow my channel know Doctor Who. But I make whatever videos I want, so you guys can't really tell me what to do. And I feel like making another Doctor Who video, so here we go. As most fans of Doctor Who know, Jodie Whittaker's tenure as the Doctor is over. And while I would say who is replacing her, like usually, you know, you'd be like, oh yeah, Matt Smith is being replaced by Peter Capaldi. I'm not going to say that because for this regeneration, it's definitely a spoiler. Anyway, I'm also going to be spoiling a lot of this episode because that's the majority of what we're going to be talking about today, as well as just overall the 14th Doctor and her era. I'm going to be spending the first portion of the video talking about my reactions to the episode. So the first part of the video is going to be about the episode The Power of the Doctor, which just aired about 2 weeks ago. And the second half of the video is basically going to be me talking about Jodie Whittaker's era. So, The Power of the Doctor. Also, you're going to be seeing some stuff here, maybe some screenshots from the episode, maybe just character-wise. We're going to be seeing some of that stuff as I talk about it. And anyway, yeah, so you're going to be seeing that right here. Going into this, I had high hopes. Most regeneration stories have some build-up, and we know that they're coming. You know, like the story is leading up to the Doctor regenerating. However, with Jodie, they didn't really have a build-up. If you were to tell me that this was Whittaker's final outing as the Doctor, without, like, telling me it was Whittaker's, you know, final outing, I probably would not have known until that she actually regenerates. The main part of the episode is that some of the 13th Doctor's biggest enemies team up and reveal that they are in conjunction with the Master, who is arguably the Doctor's biggest enemy. The Daleks, Asha, the Lone Cybermen, and the Cybermasters all work together with the Master in this episode, where he plans to take down the Doctor once and for all this time. I'm reading that off of kind of a little summary that I did. But anyway, I wonder where we've seen this one before. And yes, of course, I am referencing Matt Smith's, not regeneration, but where the Pandorica opens. However, unlike other times where the Master aims to kill the Doctor, he comes up with a clever plan to turn into the Doctor. Now, I didn't really get this 100%. It was very unclear to me, like, what is actually happening. You know, like, is the Master just taking over the Doctor's body? Is he becoming the Doctor? He ends up taking the Doctor's clothes. I didn't really get it because it was not clear. It was just the Master in the Doctor's mind, but it was the Master's. It didn't make a lot of sense. But I'm not going to get into that. Long story short, he forces the 13th Doctor to regenerate, and somehow he puts himself in the Doctor, like I just mentioned, turning the Master into the Doctor and killing out, I guess, what we would consider to be our Doctor. But he was still technically the Doctor. Like I said, it's very confusing. You kind of have to watch the episode to get a more clear idea of what happened, but I feel like the episode doesn't even really fully explain it. Anyway, 13 regenerates, but there's no Doctor anymore. It's just the Master. Now, I'm this far into the episode, and there's a lot of things happening already, like many of other Whittaker stories. I feel like the Whittaker era has a lot of different plot lines happening at once. That's common with most of the episodes, so I was like, alright, this is pretty basic for Whittaker stuff, but I mean, too many plot lines is just confusing, man. Like, that was the main plot line that I mentioned, but I didn't even mention the companions yet. I mean, I've mentioned the plot line of what's going on with the Doctor, but huge plot points of this episode are the companions. Because in the beginning of the episode, we see Dan, one of my favorite companions of 13, leave the TARDIS team due to fear that he's going to run out of luck one time. Because basically the Doctor and Yaz and Dan are on a mission. Dan gets shot, but his helmet, you know, breaks open, but he doesn't die. That wasn't very clear to me either, of how he survived that. But anyway, he survives, but he chooses to leave the TARDIS, which was very abrupt. I mean, it was just came like that, and he was gone. Anyway, Yaz meets Tegan and Ace, who are two classic Doctor Who companions who finally meet the Doctor yet again after years of not seeing them. It was great to see Tegan and Ace. I haven't gotten to Ace's part of Classic Doctor Who yet because I am currently watching through Classic Doctor Who. I'm at Tegan's part right now. Tegan's a good character in Classic Who and in Modern Who. I mean, she's only in this one episode, but she was a good character here. Ace is great. Of course, I've heard things about Ace, but I don't really know anything about her yet when it comes to Classic Who. Anyway, we also have Kate Stewart, who is, well, I mean, she's there. She doesn't really do much, but there isn't any specific reason for her to be here, but she definitely adds to the episode. Just, she doesn't do much notable stuff. Vinder also comes in, who is a character introduced in Doctor Who Flux, who I also kind of consider to be a companion-ish. He's kind of a half-companion, like more of like a Mickey type from David Tennant's era. Anyway, he comes in halfway through the episode. I'm not exactly sure how he got to the cyber planet. I mean, those who watch the episode will understand what I'm talking about here. If you haven't watched the episode, you're probably very in the dark of what I'm talking about. Cyber planet, what? But I don't know really how he gets to the cyber planet or what he was doing there, but yeah, he's there. And speaking of showing up unbeknownst, Graham shows up for literally no reason, with no explanation. I don't understand. I haven't looked up how specifically, but to me, when I watched the episode, Graham, who is another 13th Doctor companion, shows up out of nowhere. He shows up in like a volcano too, so it's like, how did you get here, dude? I don't know. Anyway, all of these companions are doing their best to help the Doctor, and eventually the Doctor and Yaz find a way to defeat the Daleks, the Cybermen, and the Master all at once, even though it's kind of a bunch of time zones going on. You know, there's two main time zones in this. It's the modern day, as usual, and 1921, which is, or I think it's 1921. If not, it's somewhere around that era, because the Master has disguised himself as Rasputin. It doesn't make it does make sense, but it's just kind of hard to explain. Like most things in the show, you know, trying to explain a Doctor Who synopsis is like, it's like, I don't know, you can't really compare it to anything. It's just very confusing if you haven't watched the actual episode. Anyway, they defeat the Daleks and the Cybermen by basically getting Jo Martin, who plays the Fugitive Doctor. They get the Fugitive Doctor a hologram of her. Again, not really explain how they get that hologram. They get the hologram of her, and to distract the Daleks and the Cybermen, and they all end up shooting at each other and defeating themselves, and, you know, boom, everything's alright now. They beat the bad guys, and that's the end. Except for the Master uses an energy source, so, bit of a, before that, basically the Master's defeated, at least he's very strucken down. They're on the cyber planet again, and the Master uses this energy source, which was in the beginning of the episode. This was basically just a source of energy, but it was living. It was something like with a child, like the child was the energy source, and the cyber planet was using it for all the energy. The Doctor basically tells this energy source, because yet again it is living, tells the energy source to free themselves, but destroy the planet. So they do that, and right as the planet is being destroyed, the Master uses like his power to basically redirect the energy blast that is being used to destroy the planet. Because yet again, the Master's about to die. The Doctor killed basically killed the Master. I'm assuming Sacha Dhawan's Master's at an end because he's about to regenerate. He uses this. He directs the blast towards the Doctor, who is going back into the TARDIS, and the Doctor basically absorbs this blast, and that's where we get it. That's how Jodie Whittaker regenerates, is from this energy source basically blasting into her. Yaz carries 13 to the TARDIS, where she is surrounded by all the companions that I mentioned earlier, because they all basically round up and get inside the TARDIS. Let me just say, a lot of this episode is not explained before. I haven't even gotten to what most of the companions are doing or what most of the other plot lines are. I'm just following the main plot line with the Doctor because this is her regeneration story after all. Basically, the Doctor is surrounded by all of her companions where she's about to regenerate, and I was like, okay, this is it. I mean, it makes sense. Everyone thought that, the next Doctor, because it's kind of been a pattern, Eccleston regenerated with companions, Tennant didn't, Matt Smith did, Capaldi didn't, so everyone's thinking, oh yeah, Whittaker's going to regenerate with companions. I'm thinking, oh yeah, everyone's going to be here for this. But like I said, everybody was a lot. I mean, when I say everybody, it was Yaz, it was not Ryan, it was Graham, it was Kate Stewart, Ace, and Tegan. So that's 5 and Vinder. So that's 6 companions that she's about to regenerate in front of. And I was thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. I think that, 6 is a lot of people to regenerate in front of, but I was gonna love this. This is gonna be great. And then for a reason, but Whittaker drops off everybody but Yaz, and I'm like, okay, well, Whittaker's gonna regenerate with Yaz. Makes sense. Her main companion, her go-to. When I think of 13's era, Yaz is gonna be a big part because she was there from the first episode to the last. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's appropriate for 13 to regenerate with Yaz. And something that I really did like that they did was 13 and Yaz have one more day where they're kind of just sitting on top of the TARDIS. It's not a full day, it's just one more moment. Sitting on top of the TARDIS, eating ice cream, just kind of talking like they normally would, acting like Whittaker is not about to regenerate and change forever. And, Yaz says, let's not say goodbye, which is just, that was really something in this episode. And, that's exactly what happens. Whittaker drops off Yaz, and that's it. Whittaker's regenerating alone. Now, on to the regeneration, the part of this video, which is a big part because if you guys don't know, I love the regeneration scenes. They are my favorite parts of all of Doctor Who. I love to see a good final words of the Doctor, epic music, and just overall cool scene. And, this is the biggest part of this episode for me. I'm thinking this needs to be good, or I'm not going to look highly on this episode, or some of Whittaker's era is going to be dampered for me. But let me just say, this scene killed it. I was really, really happy with how they did it. Jodie's final words were epic, and the music was so good. I was really excited to see who the next Doctor was, and although I already knew about Ncuti Gatwa being announced as the next Doctor, I was decently sure who we were that we were not going to be seeing Ncuti here. And I was right. Jodie Whittaker regenerates. Boom! She says her last words. Tag, you're it. That was, I can't deliver them here. But she says, and Doctor, whoever you're going to be, tag, you're it. Which was, that's great. Good final words. And Jodie Whittaker regenerates, like I just said. I'm repeating myself, but she regenerates. And boom, it's David Tennant, which was so epic. I am the biggest David Tennant fan. I finally get to say this. Watch that scene right now if you haven't already. If you're still watching this video for some reason and you haven't watched the episode, just skip to the regeneration scene. Watch the episode again later. Watch it right now. Go on YouTube. Search up Jodie Whittaker regeneration. So cool. It's David Tennant. Whittaker into Tennant. Anyway. Now, let's talk about the Whittaker era as a whole, which is kind of the title of this video, even though it's mostly a Power of the Doctor review. This is a tumultuous era of Doctor Who. I'm just going to say it blatantly. The end of Peter Capaldi's run showed us the already declining popularity of the show, and, you know, when they added bad writing team to the show, sorry Chris Chibnall, no offense, when they added this bad writing team to Whittaker's era, I knew it was going to be even more disappointing than the end of Capaldi. I also just want to clarify, this is not Whittaker's fault. She did a great job playing the Doctor, and she worked with what she got. However, I wish she had gotten better material. Her writing was not good during her tenure, and she would have been so much better because she's such a talented actor. I hope that this goes without saying also that my views on her tenure have nothing to do with me not liking the Doctor being a woman. I think that the Doctor is such a good role to have because, you know, the Doctor can be whatever. We finally are starting to see some diversity in the casting, and while I understand the casting choices they have made recently, I'm gonna stick to my opinion in saying that going forward, I want the Doctor to be a good actor. I don't care if they're a woman, I don't care if they're a man, I don't care if they're black, white, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. As long as they're a good actor, I'm gonna be happy. As long as the show just chooses good characters as opposed to just choosing people because of these things, even though I understand that, you know, this needed to happen, and I'm glad because Jodie Whittaker was a good Doctor. I'm not saying she's a bad Doctor, but her era was definitely tumultuous, and it was not her fault. Anyway, yeah, that was a spiel. I felt like that needed to be said, my views on that whole thing, because I am so excited for Ncuti Gatwa. He's going to be great, and, you know, it's about time that we had an African-American Doctor, and I really hope he kills it. You know, I'm definitely rooting for him there. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Ncuti later on, because as of right now, David Tennant is our Doctor. If I ever make another Doctor video, which I might, you know, we'll be talking about Ncuti, but enough about him in this video. We're going to be talking about David Tennant, our new Doctor, the 14th Doctor. I don't know the validity of that. I really hope he's not the 14th Doctor. Ncuti should be the 14th Doctor. Tennant should be an in-between, but we'll see when we actually get to the story. I don't know what the hell's going on right now because this is just very confusing lore with the show. But yeah, sadly we have to wait another year to see if the rumors of, you know, the Celestial Toymaker, Tennant just being a guest, just being like Tennant is just a guest star, but, you know, they're saying he's the 14th Doctor. But yeah, I'm hoping that the Celestial Toymaker rumors are true. I hope that Tennant is just a guise made by the Toymaker, and I hope that those rumors are true, that, you know, it's just the Toymaker playing with the regeneration, which I think would go along with the lore with the clothes. But yeah, I wanted to take a moment also to anyone who has not watched Doctor Who, who is still watching this video. Why are you watching this video? What are you doing, dude? But it's alright. If you're still watching this video and you've never watched Doctor Who, it's amazing. Please check it out. I'm not just saying that because I like the show. Check it out. It's for everybody. It really is for everybody. Anyways, goodbye, Jodie, and thank you for everything you've done. You've been a huge inspiration to many fans out there, I'm sure. And despite my problems with your era, I'm going to be having fond memories about it in some of the episodes when I eventually look back, because, you know, it's inevitable for me to go back into Doctor Who eras. Thank you, Jodie, and as you said, tag, you're it.